Hi, so I made this scene recently. I wanted to make a simple scene. Actually, I was just listening to a song and I came across this image as a thumbnail for this, and I was like, wow, that looks really nice. It's so simple, but it looks so real. And obviously, this is most likely a real image. But I was just so intrigued about the details and how it looks. Just so nice and simple. This was my reference, that's it, and I just wanted to recreate something similar. So what I did was I grabbed this 3D model of a glasses because I just wanted to make it quick and simple and not spend time modeling or anything, although this is simple enough. Anyway, I just grabbed this off the internet, I think Sketchfab or something, and this window as well. I didn't really need a window, I just wanted one, and then just made a cube around it to act as a sort of bounce lighting, and also so I don't get light from anywhere else. And then this plane is just the windowsill, because this doesn't have a windowsill, so I just wanted a windowsill sort of a thing to put my glasses on, and something that I could texture myself. And then this is just nothing. Anyway, so I've got my camera here set at 50 millimeters, and obviously with depth of field and everything set up. As you can see, that's the focus plane right on the glasses, 2.8, nothing fancy. But if I just break it down for you real quick, if I turn on render mode over here, so this has glass on it, of course. And there's probably this other one as well over here, just for a limited amount of lighting. So yeah, this is the render I was getting. I removed the window over here for one of the renders. Anyway, this gives a very sharp sort of shadow highlight. So with that in, it's like a gradual one. It's just it actually came with the model I downloaded, to be honest, but it's just basically a noise texture on the roughness for the glass, as you can see. Nothing much. Anyway, so that helps break down the lighting a bit. So lighting setup wise, I just have this weird HDRI, which is sort of an overcast. And then we can see outside. I was playing around with a few different things, but just stuck with one texture. I can actually probably put this in here. So just stuck with this one texture and lit it up. Initially, I didn't have any of this, so I added this cigarette later on, and then there's just this debris that I can show you over here. This is just a random debris I got from Kitbash that I scaled down and just made it so that it looks like it's scattered around here. I did also have a particle system on this that you can see, maybe you can't see. It's very tiny, just for like dust, I'd say. Like small amounts of dust. That looks horrible over here, but because we have depth of field and everything on, you can't really tell, but it does add to a bit of the detail. Not sure you can tell or not. So yeah, and then the major thing was the glass for this. If I go back to the objects, the glass has some scratches and stuff, so this is not needed. What basically it is there's just this texture. Let's go this one. So there's a scratching texture that I combined with this fingerprint texture using a mixed node and then having a noise as the factor. So then we have sort of mixed scratches and fingerprints, and then in this you can almost see some scratches and fingerprints. I'm not sure if you can see that. Anyway, so that's just for that. And then for the frame, I added, so for the frame, I added a quick texture, the same fingerprint texture, as you can see, just so it gives it a bit of a smudgy look, with a color ramp into the roughness, and so then we can have some sort of roughness on the scratchiness and fingerprint stuff on the frame as well. Can't really tell from this distance, but it actually does make a difference. If I take this off, there is some difference in the shadowing and stuff. Yeah, so that's it really. Depth of field and stuff, I played with the camera settings. Everything inside is closed off, so it's dark, and so you get like a gradient of darkness going towards like light. I did actually play with a few things. If I just show you this real quick, if I go to the camera, oops, so this is the camera view. So I tried playing with the composition a bit. You see these composition guides and stuff, so I was thinking maybe have it to one side, it might look better, but then this place looked totally empty, and then obviously to this side just looks, I mean, you could have it, but then there needs to be something. I felt like it just doesn't make sense, so that's why I just kept it in the middle, so it's center. And then I tried even zooming in and stuff, that maybe it looks better, but then it was too much in focus, and I wanted to see like the debris and stuff that I had. Like, look how nice that looks. I could have it at an angle as well, like this. I mean, once you have the scene set up, you can play with the camera angle and stuff as much as you want, just to make it maybe look nice. That looks cool as well. The depth of field makes a big difference. So that's just a simple scene. As you can see, there's nothing much to it. Is there a light outside? I don't think so. Let me see. Yeah, there is one. Let's see if we turn this off. So if I turn, so it's the one that's causing. So I have a light out here, which is just a sunlight, and it's just penetrating through the glass at an angle. And then if I turn this on, as you can see, it's just a very diffuse thing with no shadows, no really light. And then just a bit more. I could increase the lighting, but I kept it at 2 and then played with post-processing. I could make it a bit warmer, but it's overcast, so it wouldn't really be that warm either. So that's it. I could try and make it into one of these dimensions for like a reel or something. That might look good. But yeah, so that's the basic scene. If I take the box off, you can see even if I boxed it off or something, it's not what do you call it, dramatic lighting. It's just lighting everywhere, and there's just no point of focus, I'd say. So this gives some dramatic lighting. If I turn off depth of field, you can see I mean, it looks okay, but then you can see everything so clearly that depth of field hides your imperfections and stuff. The inside of this is just a normal texture as well, just like a concrete texture I got from Polyhaven. And I need to turn this back on because it doesn't look good with that depth of field. I tried lowering the depth of field, tried to make it like really shallow, but I wanted to see some of this, so then something playing around with it helps. And then we have the focus plane as well, which is just an empty, this empty is for the focus plane, and that's it. So textures, which I think 4K textures on this, because this is the main thing that we're going to be looking at. So although it's blurred with the depth of field, it still needs to be high res. So this is 4K as well. This is 4K as well, I think. This is 1K. This is 4K, so that's 1K. I can't really see anyway, so that's fine. And then textures, and then lighting, and that's what you get with a simple, funny what a little bit of lighting and textures can do for your scene, right? So just for the quick color correction, this is the raw render, you could say, from Blender, which looks alright. I'd say decent, maybe a bit more photoreal than something cinematic, but for something more cinematic, what I do usually is add an adjustment layer with this magic bullet lux, which is just a really nice add-on for color correction and stuff. I've already done it here, as you can see. I added a few tools that you can just select from the side as different things that you can just add and experiment with, and once you get some practice you can kind of tell which ones would look good. So if I just zoom in, first of all, there's this spot fill. Basically, if I just turn it off, it's just a highlight sort of in this area where the light is coming through, so it just kind of makes this more prominent and focuses our eyes on this, combined with the S curve, which is basically just a contrast curve. As you can see, the edges kind of go a little darker, and there's more focus on the middle, sort of where our eyes should be going. And then basic colorize just for some, you can say, tint. I mean, you could leave it as is, but it looks a bit more dramatic, I'd say. And then there's this renoiser. Ooh, a bit too much. As you can see, without it, it's quite clean, which is okay. Like, you might want something clean, but if you add the noise in it, it makes it a bit more, maybe like it's taken from a camera instead of rendered. So noise is always good. Any noise, film grain, stuff like that, to add to your render. And then you can always sort of play around with the settings over here for all these sort of effects. They do have a few different sort of presets, I'd say, like filmic looks, that you can just hover over if you want to try different effects, or you can create your own using some of these tools over here. So that's the basic After Effects process. There's not much I do, and then I just add music and stuff in Premiere if I want, or if I want to add some text, and that's it. So that's it for this one. Try, and there's nothing much to learn from this, apart from the fact that you actually need to tweak things a lot and just play around with everything. Like, for example, this light, if I just move it around, if I just move the camera angle around, you can see that it makes a difference with the shadows, the lighting. Like, I can see the whole glass right now, but before, the shadows are just underneath it. If I turn it the other way, it's just nothing. If I turn it this way, so you need to play with the size, the scale, the intensity, the radius, the direction, the angles, everything, and then the camera angles, the camera focal lengths, the depth of field, and then the textures, 1K, 2K. If you don't like the texture, change the texture. And then after you've got the basics down, then you can go and add some details like the debris, the smoking cigar thing, and the particles and stuff to look like dust. And probably I could have added a bazillion other things to this, depending on what I wanted to show the room as. There could be a poster here, a frame here, there could be a frame back here, a clock, a watch. There could be more debris, maybe some dust down here. There could be a crack in the glass. There could be some blood here. There could be replace the glasses with, like, I don't know, a telephone, an iPhone, a letter with a hot waxed seal on it, that's opened, that has a fingerprint of blood on it. I don't know. anything to give it story. I guess if you have some sort of story, you can think about it. It would dramatically change the scene to something completely different. And the more time you put into a scene, the more ideas you get, and the more I guess the better the art you can make. So hope you learned something. If not, no worries, maybe in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys, and bye bye.